Hi there, I'm Holly Schwartz McDonald from Villa Real Estate, and instead of doing the regular the OC Real Estate Hot 30 podcast with Lina Fayyad, today we are doing a few little videos on our own, putting them together into one longer podcast, but just doing little snippets as well, so we can give you some information and you can go to the topics that are most pertinent or the ones that you are most curious about. So this topic is going to concern the coronavirus and what realtors are doing and what you as home buyers can do or home sellers can be doing. I will say that right now our company is discouraging open houses and broker previews due to the fact that Governor Newsom has advised everybody to just keep gatherings to really small, really just stay at home is really the main thing right now. So those broker previews and open houses are really not in the best interest of everybody at the moment for safety reasons. However, if you do want to schedule a private showing or a virtual showings are easy and great. Private showings, you can definitely call us, and as long as the homeowners are okay with it and we can limit exposure to people that may be sick, obviously if you're not sick, please do not request a showing at this time, then we can make that work. Typically just come with your hands clean and be ready to look and try not to touch a lot. So those are some of the things going on. We are also, just to recommend that people that maybe are in a higher risk group, like individuals that are over age 65, you may want to limit showings altogether at this point because you don't know who out there even is carrying the virus, and obviously wouldn't want to have those germs wander into your household. We're doing everything we can to be as cautious as possible. It's certainly not, it's challenging with the stay-at-home order and only doing essential things, but as far as real estate goes, we're so lucky and fortunate that we're in an age where there is so much technology, and while it may not be exactly the same as getting in there in the door personally and being in the space, it's very, very close because you can be there on the phone, getting a full tour, looking at every corner and every door and every closet, and I'm really scoping it out, and then of course you can always drive by. So those are some of the precautions that we're taking, as well as some of the offerings that we're helping our clients in order to still see properties, but still stay safe in the process. Thank you. Rather than doing our regular OC Real Estate Hot 30 podcast this week because of the stay-at-home order, we're mostly doing our stuff from home and doing it virtually, which is great when you have a podcast because you can really do it from anywhere. But I did want to touch on a topic that we talked about in an earlier interview Lina and I were doing. We are getting questions about what's happening as far as being able to pay your mortgage, especially when there's a lot of economic hardship at this time, a lot of people that are not working. There's a lot of concerns about that. So just wanted to let you know the current information, and this is fluid and it's changing, so we'll update you as soon as we have more updates. But as of right now, any Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA-backed loan, the government is saying that they're not going to do any foreclosures or bankruptcies until April 30th at this time. So basically, you do need to contact your service provider or your lender, but you can rest assured that you're not going to be foreclosed on in this time frame due to what is happening economically. There's my dog in the background. And then as far as what's going on in the nation, I have also gotten questions about, is there going to be like a mortgage holiday, let's say, for paying your mortgage at all? This is a developing situation. I know that in New York, there are situations where they're saying that homeowners will have to pay for 90 days, but there are exceptions and you do have to check with your lender. I'm hearing that might roll out to the rest of the country. And again, this is developing. And so next week, we may have more information for you, but it is certainly possible, seeing as New York has done that, and how long it's going to go and what those exceptions are, what qualifications you need to have in order to be granted that. We'll have to get you more details as we find out more, but that certainly is a possibility. It's something that the banks and the lenders are looking at doing in order to help people stay in their homes and not have to be afraid, because obviously this pandemic really took everybody by surprise, and it certainly built up a lot into more of a thing than I think anybody was really anticipating, especially economically. So rest assured, we will get you more information as we have it. But in the meantime, keep paying your mortgage, find out what your options are, talk to your lenders, and we will certainly let you know more as we have more information. So stay healthy, stay strong. We'll talk to you soon. And this week, since we are all kind of in a quarantine due to coronavirus, my colleague Lina, Fayyad, and I are doing little clippets just to give you a quick update on the market and what's been going on this week. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes and just go over one question that we've gotten about the Fed slashing their benchmark interest rate. And then I have a couple of other little videos that I'm going to do that will elaborate on a couple of other concerns that have come up and questions, just so you can watch the videos that pertain to whatever you're concerned about or have questions about, and don't have to listen to a whole 30-minute podcast. So first off, the Fed, last weekend, they announced that they're dropping their benchmark rate to 0%. And I had buyers coming out to me asking if that meant that their interest rates were all of a sudden going to take a deep dive. Currently, in the most recent past, we have been seeing rates extremely low. My clients have typically been getting anywhere in the threes, some in the low end, some on the higher end, which is a really good rate historically. The banks have not necessarily responded and slashed their rates. When the Fed does something, it's not necessarily tied to what the banks are going to do. So this week, specifically, the rates have been pretty volatile, just as the stock market has been volatile. It seems like everything in the world has been volatile with this virus. So the rates are still, from what I've seen, most people are still getting in the threes. What I've also seen, though, is I have seen a lot of my clients have been refinancing or asking about it or reaching out to their lenders. It's a good time to do that because I have heard of people getting rates really low. So even below what I just mentioned, you'll definitely want to check with a lender. These rates do change all the time. They're constantly changing. But at the end of the day, it's a great time to refinance as far as getting a low rate. It's still a great time to buy as far as getting a low rate if that's what you're looking for. So if you need any referrals for lenders, we've got some great ones. If you have any other questions about this, let me know. We are here to help. Thanks. One thing I did want to let you know about this week is that the California Association of Realtors came out with a new addendum specifically regarding the coronavirus. It is called the Coronavirus Addendum or Amendment. And what that means is it's not mandatory. Everybody does not have to agree to include it in their transactions, but it is meant to help protect buyers that are concerned about everything that's happening right now. Because there's a lot of change in the market, in the world, and people are concerned about how that's going to impact their home buying ability. So if you are a buyer and you're writing up an offer, you're just in the beginning of the process, you may want to include that in your deals. It specifically allows for extra time in case there is some sort of shutdown with the banks or the county and you're not able to close on time. It also allows for provisions if you, for instance, get coronavirus and are not able to proceed with the purchase of the home. It's basically like an extra contingency. So a contingency is something that you have to satisfy yourself in order to move forward on the property. If you have a contingency for any impacts of the coronavirus, it would allow you to back out of the deal and get your deposit back and not be at any risk for losing that. So the Board of Realtors is looking for ways to protect people at this really turbulent time. If you don't have it as part of your agreement, I wouldn't worry too much at this point. There is so much going on in the world that is just beyond our control and certainly was unforeseeable. So we will do everything we can to protect you, but we did want to make you aware that it is such a major issue that the Association of Realtors is trying to get ahead of that and put some paperwork together and forms that are going to help everybody. In the meantime, stay safe. I've got another coronavirus-related topic coming up next in the next clip. Thanks. So I focus a lot on Costa Mesa, California, and so it's really easy for me to kind of tell you what's been happening here. I keep such close tabs on it. What I will say is that in the last week, there have been a high number of listings put on the market, despite everything that is going on, which what I'm talking about is, we're in a state of national emergency. We are, we are having orders to basically stay at home if you don't have to go to an essential job, basically just hunker down. So despite that, homes are still coming on the market. There have been over 30, and of those 30, more than half, about at least 15, have actually accepted offers, which is really, that's a pretty good ratio considering the fact that a lot of people have been staying home. So people are still making offers. Homes are still coming on the market. Now we are entering the spring, which is of course a time when you are going to see more homes for sale, and that might be hampered a bit by everything that's going on. But I do think it is interesting to note that there have been a significant number of homes that have come on the market and have actually even accepted offers. Another thing I do want to say is that I have seen some price reductions, and I think, I can't directly correlate that to what's been happening as of yet. Certainly homes reduce prices for all sorts of reasons all the time. I think it's safe to assume that some people may be reducing in an effort to sell their home faster because of what's happening. But there hasn't been a whole lot of price reductions. There haven't even been a whole lot of cancellations from people that are afraid about the situation. I have seen some properties go on hold. Obviously, I have noticed that houses that were going to have open houses or that would normally have open houses have opted not to, since we're supposed to not gather in large groups right now, and because I think, quite frankly, there are homeowners that don't want to be susceptible to the germs that are out there. It is a trying time. If you're a homeowner, you certainly can be selective and advise that you don't want to have open houses right now. That's totally your right. But if you do want to have your house sold, it's certainly advisable to have showings. However, I do want to caveat that and say that if you are in a high-risk group, certainly it may not be in your best interest to have strangers coming through the property. We advise clients to come through and make sure that they're healthy, they're well, they haven't, they've washed their hands. We can use wipes to try to sterilize things, but at the same time, you do want to take precaution for yourself and your own health, of course, and we're here to help you with that. But I did just want to let you know that there are definitely, the market is still moving, and it's just how we have to proceed moving forward. We are still waiting to kind of see if anything else is going to close and how that will impact home sales, if it's going to make them take longer or whatnot. But we will keep you posted as we hear more. As of right now, I know from the lenders I've been working with, deals are still going and they're still projected to close on time, and everybody, of course, wants that. So if that seems to hit some sort of a wall, we'll let you know. But so far, we're at, let's see, it's March 20th, 2020, and things are still closing, and that's where we're at. So any questions, please let us know. We're here to support you, try to give you as many resources as possible, and keep you up to date on the real estate market and how it's being impacted by coronavirus. Thank you.